Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Lord Zathan for another video commentary for the STW 1-year anniversary tournament called Operation Carnage. So anyways, we are looking at Captain Jack Sparrow and the Kaga. He's got a fellow Kaga and facing out against two tech tree ships. Kaga is our premium.
Battle starts.
Alright, let's see what we can do here. So, I can see that the Kaga is top tier, playing against a bunch of Iron Dukes. So this is probably the day or the day after the British battleships officially were released. And, so, a Ranger. Now, if the Ranger is Strike, then Sparrow's going to be lucky. He doesn't have to worry about the Ranger's aircraft, although the Ranger will most likely be air superiority or maybe even stock loadout at the 111. So there's that. The Hiryu could be anything. Could have one fighter, two, or I think even three if you go AS. So it'll be interesting to see what he's got. So anyway, Kaga is really good at striking enemies. It's got a pretty crazy torpedo drop pattern, and you'll see that in a little bit. So what we're doing is we're watching a replay here. In order to participate in the tournament, you have to score at least 80,000 damage, and that's really it. Just a tier 8 or lower ship. Kaga's tier 7, so there you go. Now the Kaga's planes are tier 6 aircraft, which means that they will die very easily. Like the fighter squadrons here, if that's the Ranger, it probably is, then I mean, not going to do too well.
Standing by for instructions. Over. Awaiting instructions.
Now we are watching the view from Jack Sparrow, and basically, okay, so here comes probably a strafe. Yep. So, wow. Now I'm quite jealous because usually when I play carrier, I can't make this kind of stuff happen. But you know, whatever. Nice strafing job there. Jeez. I'm doing these replays, by the way, as ways for community members, and in this case, I think even myself, to learn some good strategies, some ways to play certain ships and find ways that work, things that don't. I am by no means a super Unicum player, although I am pretty decent. So hopefully my commentary is accurate and can give you guys some good pointers. Alright, so here we have our first torpedo bomb strike on the New York, looks like. Now watch this bomb pattern drop. It's going to be 3 in the front and then 3 in the rear, and the 3 in the rear are very tight. So what I mean by that is that it's really difficult to dodge the last set of torps. You'll usually hit the first. Look at that. Look at all those torp hits. Oh my god. Wow, 8 torp hits. Now, what Jack is doing right here is he's waiting for the damage control to end. At least I think he is.
Taking fire.
New York's gonna have 20 seconds of damage control. So does he get in? I always mistime this. Like earlier today, I even mistimed it.
Approaching target.
Look at that manual drop pattern, very tight. Oh, he did it. He got 2 fires. And now the bombers are coming back. Time to go to the fighters and get rid of some of them. So you get behind him, and then you strafe him from the rear. Very easy to do that. It's hard to tell. It almost looks like nice. It almost looks like these fighters or these attack planes have evasive maneuver. Anyway, the fighters have come back to prevent further destruction of aircraft. So And I'm surprised that he's not being strafed. Usually those fighters would be strafed and they're gone. But for some odd reason, that guy is just... I don't know. Ouch, poor Fubuki. Fubuki took a... I guess you could call it a luck chuck. Most likely those torps were fired at the King George V or the Iron Duke, and Fubuki just was unlucky.
Ready for takeoff.
So Nico already... No, never mind. Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow already has 57,000 damage. Remember, he has to have 80,000 in order to enter this contest. His team's not doing too well, though. Looks like they're kind of losing some ships. So it's up to Jack to fix this here.
Airborne. Ready. Approaching target. Ready for takeoff. Capture that area.
And King George is speeding up, but it's going to be too late. Look at those. He's taking all 6. Wow.
Returning.
That's the power of the Kaga, guys. Look at this. And that's basically it. I mean, he's flooding out now. Or fired, yeah, whatever. So now it's time for the dive bombers to find something to do. Now, tier 7 carriers do not have defensive fire. So it looks like he's going to bomb the Ranger. And bombing the Ranger is generally a good idea because if he does not have emergency takeoff skill, he will be burning for a while and will not be able to launch planes. So my guess is that's Jack's idea here. But there are some fighters, so Jack is wisely pulling back his bombers. This is something else that I struggle with too. I think he's using the minimap quite a bit to move his fighters. I don't do that. I end up using the map screen, and I need to get in the habit of using the minimap more. Just because. Oh. Wow, that carrier player actually dodged the strafe.
Engaging enemy.
But won't dodge that.
Ready.
Nope, he will.
Approaching target. Ready. Standing by for
Jack's analyzed the pattern, and look at that.
Engaging enemy.
Man, I wish I could pull off strafes like this.
Airborne. Fire support. Awaiting instructions. Engaging enemy. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Wow.
Airborne.
Tier 6 fighters don't matter when you know how to play
Awaiting
carrier.
instructions.
Jeez.
Awaiting instructions.
Alright, meanwhile the torpedo bombers are up and coming in. Looks like the dive bombers are coming back in, so...
Approaching target. Returning. Awaiting instructions.
Alright, looks like Jack wants to finish the job.
Target destroyed. Awaiting instructions. Awaiting
He's at 115,000, so Jack has already done enough damage to get into the competition. Strafing those fighters. And will he do a strafe out? Probably not. He's very low in ammo.
Returning to ship.
Alright, so Jack is
We're under attack.
going for both the carrier and the meal at the same time. Question is, will he be able to kill both at the same time?
Approaching target. Approaching target. Returning to ship.
Oh, he got one.
Enemy aircraft carrier sunk. Returning. Taking fire.
Okay, now he's
Approaching
dropping
target.
the other side. That's going to prevent the Emil from turning out. And he's gone. Right? Maybe? Yep.
carriers are sunk.
Didn't quite get the double strike, but that's okay.
Our team has taken the lead.
Now it's interesting too, looking at Jack's positioning. You notice that he's moved the carrier. He's not playing an airfield. He is a mobile ship with a runway on top, so he is moving around, which is what you should be doing in a carrier. He's kind of following his destroyers and his planes. He's making sure that there's nothing between, you know, him and the enemy. And at this point, he's got a lot of room. So you can see he's starting to back up. He's going to get in position to start moving forward. The reason why it's important to move forward is because you want to be closer to the action. The closer you are to the action, the sooner your fighter planes and attack planes will get back to base, which means the sooner they get back into the field as well, which means you can do a lot more damage as a result.
Ready.
Look at that Fubuki at 49 health. Bye. Now the question is, will that Iron Duke think about torpedoes in turn? Looks like he is.
Our victory is in sight.
So this is one of the things about carriers, right? Is there's some periods of high action, and then there's a good period of waiting around too, trying to wait for your planes to come back up. And wow, 4 more planes. He's already shot down 53 planes, guys, and it looks like another. Yep. Now it's interesting how he's doing the strafe like that, as opposed to how I would do the strafe, which is setting the planes into motion and then calling for the strafe. I almost wonder if you're better, you get a faster strafe that way. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Anyway, that one missed, but you know, Jack wants to strafe. Personally, I hate strafing. I think it's one of the dumbest mechanics in the game, because it allows players that are really good to do what you're seeing here, which is basically shoot down the entire enemy air groups with tier 6 fighters, which, I mean, that just shouldn't happen, to be honest. So, I don't know, whatever.
We're under attack.
Alright, so the question is, will this Iron Duke survive? Oh, time extension, as I like to call it, and my friend Puddin. So, because the Hiryu got that kill, the time in the game got extended, which enables CptJackSparrowed to drop and probably kill this Iron Duke, because he flooded, and of course he instantly repaired, and here comes the next set of bombers. Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this replay.